If you're a leader or a church member who cares about the health and growth of your local church, thank you. Thank you for not only trusting and following Jesus, but for serving and sharing him too, and for caring about those inside and outside the church family. Hopefully by now you've already seen something of Living and Telling and how it helps followers of Jesus learn and grow in helping others get to know Jesus naturally and helpfully as a way of life. One thing we wanted to point out about the course is its potential to become a regular feature in what you do year on year to inspire and enable those you lead in how to have encouraging conversations about Jesus with people they connect with in their lives. Just as people need regular and repeated opportunities to bring friends to courses like Alpha or Christianity Explored, we think Living and Telling could go hand in hand with these courses, so they would in a sense feed into each other. When Christians go through Living and Telling, they'll be inspired, encouraged and enabled to invest in friends, family members and colleagues who don't yet follow Jesus or know God personally. And they'll be thinking about who they could invite and bring to church activities and to the other courses that you run to help them find out more about Jesus. And when people in our churches become followers of Jesus and they start telling people about the choice they've made, we can introduce them to Living and Telling, so they too can learn more about how to live for Jesus and tell others about him. Churches that see growth through new people coming to know Jesus year on year seem to have a few things in common. One is that they usually have consistent leadership who pray and plan and strategize about how to help the church continue to be healthy and growing. Public and personal evangelism also usually feature. This means the good news of Jesus is told publicly at our gatherings whenever someone is preaching, teaching, or just sharing their story. And it means the same good news is being shared personally as each and every Christian confidently seeks to live out and speak out their faith in Jesus, having helpful conversations about him. This is happening when these churches gather, but also when they scatter, to live out God's calling wherever Jesus has sent them. These things are much more likely to happen in a local church when we as leaders are modelling a lifestyle of loving people and helping them understand and respond to the good news about Jesus. If we preach and teach, we need to also be telling stories about our own experiences, both good and bad, of trying to help others get to know Jesus. It's about discovering Jesus together, so let's lead by example. And we must also remember that church growth will happen where telling people the good news about Jesus is seen as part of a much bigger journey of making lifelong disciples of Jesus. That journey begins the first time a Christian meets someone who's not a follower of Jesus and doesn't suddenly stop when that person says yes to Jesus. So, churches that see this kind of growth usually have prayed and planned for it and have placed a priority on public and personal sharing of the good news, so that week by week they're never just preaching to the converted. But in 2020, the Evangelical Alliance reported in their Changing Church Autumn Survey that a third of the Christians they surveyed said their church wasn't helping them with sharing the good news at all, and only 13% said their church regularly helped them with this. All this makes us think that there's a huge opportunity for Living and Telling to have a real and lasting impact, not only on each person who does the course, but also on local church growth if it becomes the way they routinely inspire and enable Christians to help others get to know Jesus. Living and Telling is not just another course to run once and be finished with. It might be even more helpful than that. It's something we at Agape UK have been thinking about and praying about, and we wanted to share that with you so that you and your teams might think and pray about it too. With God's help, let's really go for it together, and please let us know if we can help you in any way.